All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Let me just get you guys on here. What's going on, everyone? Let me pin this and move this over here. All right. I think we're on. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Let me play this background music here. There we go. All right, we're on. Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Happy Monday, everyone. Let me bring you Zoom guys here as well. Afternoon. Good morning. Gold with the big moves, guys. Big moves on Friday on gold. Happy Monday, sirs. Happy Monday, man. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Audio and video good. Awesome. Thank you, man. Welcome back, everyone. If any of you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Aaron, also known as Aaron Trades. Been trading for the past 8 years and mainly focus on gold futures here in the European session. So good to be back on with you guys. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Ready for another busy week in the markets. We saw gold have a amazing move on Friday. Absolutely huge move on gold. Huge move on silver. Last week was a fantastic week in the market. So we'll see what we get for this week. Before we do anything, let's just have a quick look at what we have coming up this week. Let's have a look on the calendar. So it's the final trading week of February. Before we excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, I was about to. Maybe. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. Nope. Okay. 3 times about sneeze. Not gonna sneeze. Before we do anything, guys, how's everyone's February been? Have you guys found the markets in February? You guys had a good February, quiet February, learning February, slow February, amazing winning February. How's your guys' month been? Before we jump in here, has everyone found the market so far? Yeah, it was huge, Nick. Yeah, it was huge, man. Good comeback month. Nice. Good comeback month. It's good, man. February's been a good month. Good morning, man. Alone in Feb, small green. Cool. Slow. That's alright, Ben. It happens. Doesn't matter if it's there's no right or wrong answer here. Doesn't matter if it's been a good, bad, losing, winning. You know, that's what we're here for, guys, to talk about it and reflect on it and see how we can get better. Nice, Philip. Most successful month to date. Absolutely amazing, man. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear, man. Good and slow. Cool. That's good, Robin. That's good. Challenging. Yep. Good green month. Nice. Not reading it correctly. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Learned a lot. Cool. Progressing wise, the best. Not for the numbers, though. Yeah, still good, handshake. That's still good. You know, like I say, there's no... I haven't lost a combine. Nice. That's good. There's no such thing as a bad month, unless we, you know, completely broke the plan and just lost loads of money. But, you know, we're going to have winning months, we're going to have losing months. Just because we maybe lost money in a single month doesn't necessarily mean that it was a bad month. That's the markets. That's trading. We're going to have good weeks, we're going to have losing weeks, we're going to have winning weeks, we're going to have losing weeks. So it's all part of the fun, all part of the business. But the most important part is actually reflecting on these times and not just going from losing week to losing month to losing quarter to losing year and never actually reflecting and trying to figure out what did I do right or wrong to get better. I'm just going to turn this light on, guys. Sorry, 2 seconds. There we go. We can see now. So yeah, it's not about making money every single month. It's about following the plan, and if we did something wrong, figuring out what is it that we actually did wrong so we can get better. Yeah, nice. That's what we love to hear, man. Focusing on mostly 30 and hourly for indication. Sniping timeframes, yes. Perfect, man. Perfect. So, let's have a look. What do we have on the calendar for this week? It is... Today's Monday, the 23rd. We had a yen bank holiday today. We have no news tomorrow. Wednesday, the 25th of Feb, we have big Australian CPI news during the night. We have Trump speaking at 2 a.m. London time as well. And then on Thursday, 1:30 unemployment claims. And then Friday, we got core PPI on Friday the 27th. So nothing too crazy in terms of what's on the calendar. There's some news, but there's nothing crazy. Nothing that should stop us from getting good positions. So let's have a look. Yep, perfect. Focusing on the higher time frames. That's what we like to hear, man. That's what we like to hear. So let's have a look. Obviously, you know, gold, if you guys did see on Friday, ended up having a very, very, very big pushback higher. We pretty much did what we said we would in terms of we were buying below previous weekly lows. That's where we were looking for longs last week. Below them week lows, exactly the same as silver. Where were we buying silver? We were buying silver below previous week lows, right back up into the highs. So silver, great long bias last week. Gold, same again, great long bias. Now, with this huge grab and bullish closure, ideally I'd like to keep buying gold. 5,200 that we have just had an instant reaction off is also a very strong level. So what's interesting here on gold is we've opened and just pushed up with no real bottom wick on this weekly candle. So the likelihood of this being the low for the week on a Monday morning in the Asian session is very unlikely. So there is a chance we can see gold have a bit of a pullback to create a deeper retracement on this higher time frame. Now, with that being said though, shorting gold is risky. Why? Because we had an absolutely amazing bullish bias last week and we took advantage of some huge bias. So with that weekly closure on gold being up, where are we? From the lows to highs, 2,750 ticks. Do I really want to be selling against that first thing on a Monday morning? Unless it's a picture perfect setup, not really. I don't really want to be shorting gold, to be honest. We're also below that VWAP as well. So let me just bring on the current weekly low, which is right there. Let me bring this across here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. So we had this nice downside liquidity grab last week. This is where we took the amazing long bias to come up and grab all of this trend line coming down, more people trying to short that. Well, that's exactly what we're trying to take advantage of. We were trying to buy that last week and had some amazing, amazing trades. Now, with gold being as high as it is, we are intraday bullish. So do I want to be selling gold? Not really, to be honest. You guys who traded Asia, was there much of an Asia trade? I don't think so. You kind of opened, ripped, and then just pretty much range. I don't think there would have been many trades in Asia. Interesting thing here on gold is we are right now at nice support. Yeah, zero. Yeah, I'm not surprised. We're at nice support. We're tagging previous lows. So it's not a bad level to look for a bit of a retracement on gold. With gold being bullish, that's the direction that I would like to follow anyway. Because even if I'm wrong, I would still anticipate gold's going to get a pullback before maybe going lower anyway. And even just that pullback on gold, you know, 200 ticks, that's a very, very, very decent pullback. So coming into this London session, as it stands right now, I would like to look to buy gold. Yes, on short span, yes, yeah. So yeah, I would like to see if we can get some potential London longs on Goldie. London longs, we'll see. I would like to, I'm just going to get up the currency chart because I would like to see if prices re-grab these 30-minute lows. If we have, then there's potential morning star shaping up. Let me just have a quick look at my currency chart. Where are we? 30-minute time frame. Did it grab the previous lows? Not quite. Yeah, not quite. But it is still nice support. Still nice support. Very, very, very nice support on gold. I wouldn't want to be a seller down here, that's for sure. So I would like to see if we can potentially buy gold. We did just have this 15-minute close. We also have hourly close in 15 minutes as well. Be interesting to see if we can wick all the way back above the support for potential longs. So it's a nice 15-minute rejection. Very nice 5-minute grab of the lows, bullish closure. So we are finding nice support on gold. So I would, yeah, I'd like to see if we can get some longs. See if we can get some longs here on Goldie. Where am I now? I'm still in Spain, man. Still in Spain. I'm in Spain till April time, man. Until April time. Sold gold with a 30-minute close below support, but the wick of the second candle wicked me out right before it dropped and grabbed liquidity. Let's see. Which 30-minute close, man? 30-minute close below support, but the wick of the second candle wicked me out. Here, maybe around here, pre-London. This little squeeze down here, maybe. I mean, shorting gold's pretty risky. You're shorting gold at literally the highs of the past, like, 2-3 weeks. Yeah, this is the highest we've been in 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So you're shorting highs of 4 weeks, so it's very risky. It's very, very risky. It's not to say you can't take it, but the only way I would take shorts up here is if you've made money buying up, because that's the easy trade. And that's the ones that we should be absolutely maximizing. So personally, I wouldn't have shorted this down. I would rather look to continue buying, personally. So if you did get wicked out, you maybe a little break even before the short. I think that's probably a good idea to us, because being as bullish as we have been, if you did short, it's much riskier. Therefore, you would want to manage the risk more aggressively. So therefore, you probably have to accept a couple more break evens. Yeah, let's let gold shape up a little bit here. I do like the look of longs today for London for gold, but let's let it shape up a bit. We can have a look at NQ, absolutely. Silver is pretty much the same story. Remember, we were calling amazing buys last week on silver. A great buys. Pretty much all week. Had an amazing week in the markets. Literally took 2 trades on my personal last week and had an absolutely amazing week. Silver was a fantastic play. Absolutely fantastic play. Now, with silver, kind of a very similar situation as gold. You know, buying silver was amazing. Where were we buying? Well, we were buying below. Oh, I didn't mean that's a bit unnecessary. We were buying below these weekly lows, and where were we targeting? Right back up into weekly highs. So that whole range has now been filled perfectly, absolutely perfectly. So could silver pull back, and could we maybe range above these previous weekly highs? Easily. You could easily see silver create a pretty aggressive range up here. I think gold's looking nicer for longs. But silver last week was absolutely incredible. This is a huge run. Massive run. What would be a valid entry for long? Can you show the currency chart? Currency chart doesn't make a difference to what would be a valid long. A valid long is just waiting for this London Open. Because right now the previous hourly was closing bearish. So it doesn't make sense for me to buy this current hour when the previous hourly closed bearish below support. No. So I just have to see this hourly candle show me something. Whether we close below, whether we get a bit of a fake out towards 9 AM, we'll see. But I want to see some sort of support, some sort of reversal sign, maybe a fake out, maybe a 30-minute morning star. But ideally, I want to see this hourly confirm something. If we even close a little bit bullish and we hold below previous hourly lows, then I can buy at 8 AM. But with that previous hourly closing bearish, I wouldn't be buying a 7 AM candle just yet. So just waiting for the London Open on gold. Let's have a look at NQ. Let's see, how do we close last week? So NQ's been pretty messy. Let's have a look here. So liquidity levels did get hit perfectly. Like I say, although I don't trade NQ, you guys who join these London sessions, I always say to you guys, you know, keep these levels on your charts, because they play out throughout the rest of the day. So you can see you come down. Oh, let's get rid of that. Tag lows. Where do you come to next? The highs. You tag the highs. Where do you come to next? Here. Tag the lows, then the highs. So although NQ is ranging, it's playing liquidity to liquidity pretty perfectly. And again, these levels were all called and based off the exact same thing as gold last week. Why were we talking about NQ longs? Well, we were at huge support, big resistance, support, and we were also trading below previous week lows. It's very rare that you get that good of an opportunity to buy below previous week lows at such a big level of support, but when you do, you have to absolutely maximize it. So buying NQ last week was a great trade. For you guys who trade NQ, it was a great trade. What could we see on NQ today? Well, this is where it starts to get pretty messy, because look at this daily time frame. You tag lows, held support, closed bullish, and then bearish, tag lows, bullish, and then kind of right back down. I would still like to be buying NQ, especially off this weekly candle closure. Hit previous week lows and actually closed back above 25,000. Now, 25,000 is a big psychological level. So this candle right now could easily be the bottom wick for this to come for a steeper retracement. So I would like to buy NQ into the current weekly opening price, which is, where are we? Right up here at around 25,060. 25,060 for longs on NQ. And to be honest, higher. I think you'll probably see NQ come back up into 25,250. That's overall thought process. Look at this great liquidity grab. People would have been trying to buy here on NQ. Exactly the same plan that we use on gold. Risking right off this double bottom. What does price do? Comes down, tags the lows, and has the great move higher. What did you also have for longs? You also had a perfect trend line coming down, where you hadn't grabbed any of the touch points. So buying here on NQ last week, that was a great trade. That was a great trade. So yeah, I'll be looking for longs on NQ. Again, for you guys who do trade NQ, especially in London, you want to be trading it already. You want to be on the charts on NQ 5 to 6 a.m. London time, because you already get these great pushes. Like, look at this. Look how much NQ's already pushed here pre-London off this support. It's up 100 points. Like, that's a very decent push. So if we're going to get the longs up into 25,000, back up into 25,060, yeah, you'd want to see a bit of a pullback, because you've already had a great push. So you wouldn't want to chase it from up here. Ideally, you'd be buying down here. If you trade NQ in London, you'd be buying from down here. If you're not already in the longs, I'd want to see a pullback and then continue buying. I think out of gold, silver, and NQ, I do think gold's looking the nicest right now. Silver would have been looking nicer, but that was, 2 hours ago, which we talk about a lot. Silver does love to have them pre-London moves quite a lot. Remember guys, Topstep did extend the climb higher sale as well until tomorrow, I believe, which is pretty good. So you didn't get the sale. The sale is still running until tomorrow. Yep. Nice, Cam. Saw exactly what you explained. Good confirmation for me and my progress for the strategy. Yes, amazing, man. Just got out of the ES and NQ trade for plus 750. Nice, Cam. Did you get in from down here, man? Once it started tagging lows and holding support, you get in from around here, or even here, maybe, even here on that after the breakout. Which where did you get in from, man? 6 or 7 a.m. It's a lovely trade. Even for a pullback back up into view up. Yeah, got in at 5. Nice. Like as it started to tag the lows and hold support like this. Hey, that was a great trade right there. Tag lows, held support, overall bullish bias. So you're looking for longs, not shorts. That's a great trade right there. Even again, the reason I think NQ could get a little bit choppy in here now as well, if we look to the left, you're now coming into some very messy areas. So if I was buying NQ, yeah, personally I would be out there as well. Enter before traveling to work. Nice. Good man. I like that trade, man. It's a very nice trade. Out of the trades that have shaped up pre-London, yeah, NQ longs look the nicest. In terms of what can we see for London Open, I like these potential gold longs. Should I enter now for NQ or should I wait for a pullback? I'm unfortunately not your financial advisor, man, but you tell me. If you were to buy NQ right now, where's your targets and where's your stops? Again, it's not a question you need someone to answer for you. Do you have a valid stop with a valid target and a valid risk reward? If the answer is yes, cool, take the trade. If the answer is no, don't take the trade. Super simple. Don't leave it up to thought process, man. There's no thought process of if you should buy now or if you should wait for a pullback. What makes the most logical sense? When NQ is already up 100 points pre-London, what makes the most sense? Does it make sense to buy after a 100-point move? Or does it make sense to wait for a pullback and look for a valid risk reward? You have to ask yourself, you know, if I was in this move, would I be buying up here? If you've already got this move up, would you be taking longs from up here? And if the answer is no, then that's a good indication that you should be waiting for a pullback. What am I missing? Oh no. I don't have the... I don't have the cams on. What did I miss? They're minimizing it, don't worry. So yeah, I want to see this. We've got London open in 3 minutes here as well, guys. We are finding some nice support here on gold. But I really want to see how this is going to close. We want to see this hourly close. Is the 5 minutes trying to find some nice support? Even if we were to look for longs on gold, just for even just a bit of a pullback back up into this VWAP, what would this be? It's about 128 ticks. 15's looking nice. Yeah, I don't really trade the 15, but yeah, 15 looks alright. It kind of looks a bit messy, to be honest. Tag the highs, bearish. Didn't retag lows, bullish. I honestly don't like the 15 at all. Not in this way, just being general. Honestly, I never really look at the 15, to be honest. I find 15-minute price action extremely unreliable. But yeah, also, I really want to see this. If this hourly close is bearish, you may re-grab the lows one more time. Because the previous hourly closed bearish. Look at the previous hourly. You tagged highs, you actually closed bearish. So therefore, we don't want to be dropping down to lower time frame longs in this current candle. We want to see this current candle confirm something, and then we drop down to lower time frame for 8 AM. But if we close like this, yeah, you may create a bit of a morning star, which means we may come wick out the lows one more time. So potential shorts, we'll see. We'll see. Got to stay very reactive. Where do you see gold to drop this week to make sense for a swing trade on gold for a couple of weeks? Unfortunately, I think you asked that question last week. There's no swing longs here on gold. The swing longs are below daily and weekly lows. Unfortunately, like I said, I think you asked that last week, and I mean it's in a nice way possible. You missed it. It was down here. Your swing buying down here and down here. There's nowhere in any pullback this week that I would swing buy gold. It was last week and the previous week, or back down here at 4,500, or even this week. Once this daily candle here wick the lows or failed to close below, swing longs here. Daily fake out, swing longs here, swing longs here. Nothing in here would make me want to swing long gold. Same as silver. Oh, so I'm typing in the currency. Same as silver. If you were looking for a swing trade on gold and silver, it was last week. It may not be what you want here, but it's the reality. The swing trade was back down at major support, while that last week on silver was a perfect swing buying opportunity. You load up swing positions all down here. And again, that's not any hindsight analysis. This is literally what I was explaining all of last week. If you want to swing trade silver, it is below these weekly lows. So there's nothing for me to want to swing trade this week, personally. Absolutely nothing. You're loading up position. You could load up a good couple of positions below here. Easy risk management as well. Coming down to grab all of these trendline points. Here, here, and here. Huge run. You're very likely this week probably create a big aggressive range. Now, big range doesn't mean we can't trade. We can absolutely intraday trade it, but for swing trading, yeah, I wouldn't be looking for any swings, personally. All right, let's have a look, guys. We've got London open here. How did this hourly candle close? So Previous hourly broke below VWAP. Current hour retested it. Previous hourly still closed bearish. So it didn't hold support, didn't really hold resistance. It's kind of, so it didn't really break out, showing us very much. But holding resistance, holding support. To trade this current hourly, I mean, if I had to give a say, I would say shorts make sense now, because you've rejected once. Unless you have a fake out and you buy 9 AM, fantastic. But as long as you hold below the support, remember, gold has the potential to pull back here. It's going to be tough for me to want to short this on gold, though. It's going to be tough. ES and NQ have been pretty choppy during New York on Thursday and Friday. Probably the worst price action I have seen. Do you think the chop will continue this week? Let's have a look, man. Let's have a look. I mean, it depends on your plan. But for me personally, I can now see the date. I'm trying to see the date here. For me personally, Friday was, again, like I said, I don't want to say my plan works, your plan doesn't, but for me personally, Friday didn't chop. For me, Friday had great buys. To me, there was beautiful buys on Friday. You had clear liquidity targets with a very nice downside liquidity grab. So for me here, Friday was a great day. What did you do Thursday? Thursday definitely chopped. Lots of chop on Thursday. But could we still chop this week? I mean, I like that weekly closure. Look at that weekly closure. I think longs this week. You tagged lows, you closed bullish. So I think longs this week look nice. But to me personally, like I said, I don't really trade it. But the calls that we had last week on NQ, we called it pretty perfectly. Especially the longs on Wednesday. Great buys on Wednesday. Why? Because the previous day tagged lows, had a huge liquidity grab and wicked all the way back above. So you're buying Wednesday all day long. Thursday, didn't really do that much. Friday, comes down, wicks the lows, holds support, boom, more longs on Friday. So you could have bought Tuesday, Wednesday, nothing on Thursday, more buys on Friday. But coming into this week, yeah, I personally think NQ for longs looks nice. It does look nice. There's not a lot of news this week. It's the only concern, there's not a lot of news. But higher time frame, this looks good. And again, this is why the higher time frame is so important for intraday trading. Obviously, we're not swing trading. We are looking for intraday moves, but when you understand, oh look, price is below. For instance, here, look at this. This is exactly how you can also save yourself a lot of losses. We've got gold coming down a little bit, guys, so we're just hanging out here. You see here, look at this on 17th, which was Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. When you see this candle wick highs and close aggressively bearish. Now, why would you not sell that? Whereas a lot of people would have sold that. And why would I not sell that? Well, higher time frame. You're below previous week lows. And not only are you below previous week lows, you're below previous week lows when the previous week failed to actually close bearish. You held support last week. For the past 2 weeks, you've held bearish. So when you, held support. So when you see intraday price below these week lows, it doesn't matter about that hourly candle. You're looking for longs. So candle tags lows, closes back above, boom, great buys. So I think what will help you stay out of a lot of noise on NQ is trading in the middle of highs and lows. Like for instance here, you're trading in the middle of nothing. Whereas when you have these clear targets, which is the previous daily highs that we spoke about last week, you maximize these moves. You maximize these moves. But once you've grabbed the lows, you've also grabbed the highs, you've also grabbed the lows. Anything in between, that's where you stay more patient. So this is where the patience has to pay. These are the moves you want to maximize. Again, all based off the higher time frame. So maybe some of you guys are new-ish to intraday trading. And again, we're not swing trading, of course, but it's still extremely, extremely important to understand when you drop down to the lower time frame, where's my daily highs and lows? Where's my weekly highs and lows? Because they are potential reversal points. And if you don't understand that on an intraday time frame, if I didn't, for example, if I didn't know this was weekly support and this was a week low, if I saw this candle rip highs and close bearish, oh, I would short that all day long. I would short it, but it's a huge liquidity grab, massive breakout. Why would you not sell that? But because I understand the higher time frame, and that I'm looking for longs, not shorts on NQ, well, I absolutely wouldn't short that. I would say, cool, that's fine, that's not my trade. But once we start throwing bullish signs, here, for instance here, tagging lows, closing bullish, that's the weekly and daily holding 24,500. Boom. Buying that. Buying it again. This isn't hindsight analysis. This is everything that we spoke about last week. Spoke about all of these levels last week. So for this week, you know, if you jump onto your daily time frame right now and it does look a little bit messy like this, you know, just stay patient. Stay patient. But I'm very confident you will still get good trades this week. And it was kind of this, to be honest, the same for me on gold last week. I didn't really know what was going to happen on the markets on Monday and Tuesday, so I just didn't trade Monday and Tuesday. But when it comes to Wednesday, Thursday, I absolutely maximized them days. Let me see if I can show you guys. I only took 2 trades in my personal last week. I had a 10k a week, and took a lot of trades on Topstep as well. Can I get it up? No, I can't get it up. But yeah, same thing. Gold, you know, gold last week, I didn't really know what was going to happen when I jumped on the charts on Monday. Why? Because, you know, previous day was bearish and then bullish, so the weekly time frame was holding support, holding resistance, so I didn't know what was going to happen on Monday. So guess what? I just didn't trade it. I didn't really know what was going to happen on Tuesday, so guess what? I didn't trade it. However, once we do come down into these lows and start throwing reversal signs, cool. I'm absolutely maximize this, and maximize this, and that's all I need. That's all I need. So some days when you jump on the charts, it may not be as clear. You know, that's fine. It's okay. Don't force it. Let the markets come to you. Let the markets make sense and maximize on them trades. Absolutely maximizing them trades. Thoughts on copper? Yeah, we can have a look at copper. I'm just trying to see if gold's just creating a little bit of 5-minute range here. I'm trying to see if we can break out for longs, or we're going to come down and regrab hourly lows. It's very 50-50 right now. We're holding resistance. We're also holding support on a Monday morning. Look at this. Support, resistance. 30-minute Morningstar on gold and silver, a buy. So what would be a buy for me here on gold right now is if this candle here wicked the previous lows. If we wicked out these lows like this, I would be buying this all day long. Absolutely. But because you never really grab the lows, it's the only reason I'm not buying right now. But yeah, if this grabbed the lows, you kind of see it didn't. Came very, very close, but didn't quite grab the lows. And if I have to zoom in that much, it's probably a good indication to wait. But the best Morningstar plays are when you clearly grab the lows, hold support. Look, you clearly grab the lows, hold support. So then the same to the evening star. You clearly grab the highs and then sell off. Whereas here right now on gold, it's just, you didn't really grab the lows that much. So it's more of just you just be buying support than an actual Morningstar play. Same as the hourly. Hourly also just closed bearish, didn't really re-grab the lows yet. BTC. I had an alert go off on Bitcoin last night. I put an alert below previous weekly lows for potential more longs. You had a great sell-off here again in Asia. Look at this. Bitcoin back down to previous week lows. To me, this is a great buying opportunity. Pretty much same as what we just spoke about on gold last week. Why was gold such a nice buy? Because we were holding support and we were wicking out lows. Well, we're holding support, we're wicking out lows. So this is a nice potential buy area for Bitcoin. You had a nice evening star formation, sell off last week. This weekly has opened and wicked down. So if this weekly was going to close bearish, well, I'd anticipate the weekly would probably come up first, create that top wick and then come down. But because this weekly's opened and just come down straight away, that could be a potential bottom wick liquidity grab to have a bit of a retracement. I say potential because we'll see what happens. We'll see if there's reasons to want to buy that. Look at that great sell-off. Great sell-off. Why was that a great sell-off? Well, you never re-grabbed the previous days or weekly candle lows, so I think you would have got a lot of people trapped in early Bitcoin buys, but now that you have tagged these lows, you're starting to close back above. For me, this is a dollar cost averaging level. for Bitcoin, which I may buy some more today. I might buy some more Bitcoin today. So this is a pretty decent level. Very, very, very decent level. I did start to buy some Bitcoin last week. Only very small amounts compared to some stocks. But this is a nice area. A very, very nice area. For my Bitcoin longs, to be honest, I'm not looking for runs into all-time highs. I'm just looking for, you know, pullbacks into like 75 to 80,000. So this is a nice area to watch. I had my alert go off last night at like some ridiculous time. Did I delete it? Yeah, it went off at some ridiculous time. Yeah, I'll absolutely be keeping an eye on this today. Gold 5 minute, just chopping around here, guys. I'm still watching Goldie here. I'm watching on my other chart, just kind of chopping around here. Holding support, holding resistance. I will buy if we re-grab previous hourly lows. If long and green going into hourly close, what do you look for to close? What do you look for to stay long? I'm not 100% sure. I think you mean let's say if I buy now and it ends up closing green. I'd probably be just looking for a bit of a retracement back into this VWAP level. I'm not looking for a huge another leg high here in London. If I was buying gold, I'd be looking for just a pullback into this VWAP. What would make me close is failing to close back above this support. Anywhere from around 51.65-ish. You fail to close back above that, I'd be looking to exit. But what to watch right now on gold is we just tagged previous 30-minute highs without really grabbing previous hourly lows. So that could be potential resistance. But if we look at this in a 5-minute, we're not really moving much yet. We got time. We got time. If this 60-minute turns green, would you be looking at the prior 30 Morningstar or 60 Moss closed? I mean, you could just wait for an hourly fake out right now. It'd be pretty simple. You could easily wait for an hourly to close back above and then buy. That would be pretty simple. But I mean, if it starts to aggressively close above, or like aggressively get bullish volume, then I'll just drop down to low time frame and see what's going on. See if we get that 30 closure. So ideally, I'd wait for an hourly, but you could wait for a 30 closure above. You'd want to see some good volume in here though, because you're just kind of... You've had a very decent pre-London sell-off here. You know, what's this? Down already 374 ticks from this retest. Down 300 ticks as well. So, intraday, we're squeezing lower. So if I was going to buy it, I'd want to see a decent breakout. Maybe 30-minute, and then see if you can follow the volume. Follow the momentum. But right now on gold, yeah, we are just chopping a little bit. We are just chopping. Yep. Let's see. Oh, look at this trendline play. Look at that. Retail's making bank on that one. Copper. Let's have a look. Someone said have a look at copper. Let me see. So copper is still in this. Copper's in a aggressive range. This on copper looks very, very, very messy. We've been bouncing around this range since the 7th of January. 7th of January, copper's been stuck in this huge aggressive range. In these ranges, this is the daily time frame. These ranges, it's very hard to read price action. How did last week close? I mean, personally, I honestly, I wouldn't. If I look at a chart like this, I wouldn't even be looking to trade it personally. Nice thing is, I guess you did do the same thing as gold and silver. You tag lows and close bullish, but why would I not buy copper as opposed to buying gold? Because you had these huge upside grabs, holding resistance, holding support. So where is this support? Around, let's call it 5.67. Does that look about right? 5.67. So you got massive resistance at $6, massive support 6.7, 6.8. Big support levels. I mean, even here, he broke above, below, above, big fake out level. Where does this line up with 5.77 ish? So weekly time frame here on copper, yeah, it looks very, 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 very messy. And if the weekly and daily time frame's looking like this, man, the lower time frame can just chop you up all day long. So personally, I would be very careful trading a market like this. Yeah, sell off, broke back above, sold off, ranged, back above, back down. It's hard for me to give any analysis here, to be honest. You had a decent close on Friday. Today's already come up, tagged the highs, wicking back down. So you can even say in here, like I say, even if this was gold, I would say I am absolutely walking away right now. This is what you're really working with, and we can easily overthink in these ranges. Oh, like, is this a grab, or is this a fake out, or is this a morning star? The reality is it's just in a range. So here's your support of the range, right at that 5.76 level. Your resistance is right at 5.87. Well, right now you're right in the middle. So you're in the middle of a daily and weekly range. So personally, I would be very careful trading copper. I think there's much nicer opportunities to want to risk my money on than copper, personally. Do you class 30 minute as a double bottom when it's consecutive candles like now? Yeah, it can be. The only reason I'm not looking at it as a double bottom to short into is because you are still below a liquidity low. So I would wait and see how this hourly candle closes. If this hourly closes back above, then yeah, I'll look for longs, regardless of what I think's down here. I think what's more important here, remember, if gold's ever going to have a true move up or down, we always come up to liquidate previous highs or lows before having that move. Well, we close bearish and reject them once. So there is a high chance we do come lower. But what I'm really trying to understand is what's going to happen for London. You know, I do think for the overall week, we see gold come back down to that weekly low. But I'm just trying to understand what are we going to do in here. And to be honest, it's pretty tough. There's almost like a little bit of a head and shoulders. Again, it's not the cleanest. So I'd like to see maybe a retracement before getting short. But it's not the easiest to read right now, which is okay. Like I said to you guys, you know, last week, Monday, I struggled to read gold. Well, guess what? I didn't trade. I didn't lose money. I didn't make money. Tuesday, didn't really understand to read gold. Didn't make money. Didn't lose money. Wednesday, it was as clear as day. It was as clear as day on Wednesday and Thursday. So I absolutely maximized them days. So the days where I jump on like right now and it doesn't really make much sense, like, that's fine. Let me sit on my hands. Because if I trade in here and I take loads of losses, by the time the markets do make sense, which they will at some point this week, whether it's today or whether it's tomorrow, whether it's an hour, I'll maximize on it. But if you can't bear to not be in a trade all the time, and you trade when you know you shouldn't be trading, then you're always trying to chase to get back to break even. And I'm not trying to get back to break even, I'm trying to make money. So in this range right now, God, the best thing I can do is just sit on my hands and wait. Sit on my hands and wait, let the markets make more sense and come to me. Like I say, it could take an hour. You jump on in an hour's time, you're like, oh wow, it's an hourly fake out, cool, clear as day, buys. Might take 2 hours. At some point, the markets will move, it'll make more sense. But when it doesn't make sense, you gotta let it come to you. Let the markets come to you guys. Do you have any red months? Yeah, sure, you'll have red months for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're going to have red weeks, you're going to have red months. Ideally, you don't have red quarters, but it can happen. That's why I like to have a few accounts here on Topstep. So, you know, even if I have a red month on one account, if I have other accounts, then I can still build them up in the background as well. For instance, this month I've only taken I've only taken 2 payouts so far this month. I would like to get another one this week before the month ends, but we'll see. How many have I taken out this month? Payouts, two payouts this month, over $5,000 US so far this month, which is still good. But I'd like to see if I can get one more. But like one account, you know, one account might be down for the month, but one account might be up for the month, and I can still work towards getting myself a payout. Wait. Oh, do we have any overnight news? There was some tariff talks again on the weekend. 11 hours ago, Trump considers targeting strike against Iran. 9 hours ago, there was new tariffs, new uncertainty. So we could be waiting for the New York session today. See how the market's going to react to that news. Allows tariffs up to 15%. There has been more Trump news over the weekend. So maybe we're waiting for that. I don't really know. We're not doing too much. We're not doing too much right now. There's not a lot of volume in here. Risk on personal matters depends on the size, to be honest. Depends on the size. Only 5k this month. Work harder. Hey. Gotta work harder, man. Are you checking EMA 200 for gold? No. Chance to come back down and to retest, or gold ignore 200 again? I don't know. I mean, I can have a look. It's not something I use. Where is this? If I put on, let me see, 200, like this. Yeah, I mean it is pretty far away. Again, it's not something you use, so it's I can't really say too much. I think 200 moving average sounds like more your swing trading. You might use a 200 moving average for analyzing good levels on higher time frame stock moves, for example. But to me, a moving average that far away doesn't really impact me for day trading personally. It doesn't really interest me. Moving averages isn't something I use personally. Again, it's not to say that you can't use it, but for me personally, it doesn't have any relevance for what I'm doing here. Sometimes I might look at 200 on a stock, for example, but for trading gold, yeah, personally, it's not something I use, man. Like I said again, not to say that you can't use it, but just personally for me, it's not something I use. I like to use the VWAP. That's it. That's all I'll use here. The VWAP, liquidity levels. That's the only tools I'll use here. And VWAP's only something I've started implementing more recently, which does move very nice to be honest. It moves very, very well. But yeah, maybe for swing trading, maybe you could. Come on, Gordy. Where's the volume today? We've been in the exact same place since we started. We jumped on here. We're right in the exact same place. Let's see. Any other markets moving? NQ pulling back. NQ trying to hold up. Fast markets day, not today. I will be on fast markets on Tuesday, man. Tuesday. Tomorrow I'll be back on fast markets Tuesday for the New York Open. Not today, man. Yeah, back on Tuesday. Silver also looks nicer for shorts. See, that was a nice morning star. In terms of a morning star example, if gold did this, I would be taking my risk on that right now. That's a nice example of morning star. Again, the only concern would be the hourly actually closed bearish. But in terms of a morning star example, that's a nice morning star. Why? Because the grab is as clear as day. Look how clear that grab is. That's a clear as day. Tag the lows and holding support. So you'd be buying here. The only thing with buying this 30 minute on silver is you'd want to be managing aggressively. Why? Because the previous hourly still closed bearish. So if you get an hourly closing bearish, does it make sense to drop down to 30 and look for reversal long signs? Well, not really. If the hourly's closing bearish, we should be dropping down to a lower time frame and looking for short plays. But just as an example of what is a morning star. That's a nice example right there. But as you can see on gold, the grab wasn't as nice. That's why buying gold here is much riskier. And that's what kind of why we have silver having a little bit of a squeeze higher, gold coming lower. Gold coming right back down for them lows now. Now, here's where gold gets interesting. Here's where it goes from not making much sense to all of a sudden I'm starting to see more. If we do something like this on gold, we wick these hourly lows, and we get nice bullish momentum, then fantastic. Then I will now look to take this long. If we re-grab the previous hourly lows and look like we're going to hold support, because this hourly still has 34 minutes until it's going to close, longs could look interesting. So let's watch gold down here for potential support below these hourly lows. I haven't bought, I haven't sold yet. We've been in this very, very, very messy range, but this is where it could now potentially get interesting. And this is where the patience could pay. How many trades per day do you make? It depends on the markets, to be honest. It honestly depends. Some days could be none. Some days could be 3. Some days 4, maybe. Very rarely. I would say on average, I'm probably around 1 to 2 a day. 1 to 2 a day on average. But like I say, some days more, some days less. It honestly depends. Depends on the opportunities. Depends on how I'm also feeling mentally as well. Sometimes, you know, I might have to give my trade 2-3 chances before it ends up playing out. But sometimes I might jump on and, you know, for instance, Friday, I didn't trade Friday. Why did I not trade Friday? Because I've already had a great week in the markets. There was big news coming out, so I didn't trade Friday. And I wasn't really willing to give a trade a good couple of chances where we had such big news coming out. So I didn't trade Friday. Last week I traded Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. Didn't trade Monday. Didn't trade Monday. Didn't trade Friday. But yeah, on average, I would say 1 to 2 max. That's all I'm looking for. On my personal last week, I took 2 trades. 2 trades the whole entire week. I had a great week. But on my on my Topstep accounts here, I'm trying to take at least one a day. Yeah, that's it, Glenn. Yeah, same as me, man. 1 and done. If I get 1 good trade, I'm making a profit. Cool. I'm out. Done for the day. Come back tomorrow. That's why I try and do all my accounts here on Topstep. If I get a good winning trade, cool. Lock it out. If I want to keep trading for the rest of the day, then I'll maybe just trade a different account. But to stack up the pounds, that's what you're doing, man. Stack up them base hits. That's all you need. So 30-minute here on gold, about to close in 1 minute. What do? We tag the highs and we've closed bearish. We're also kind of holding support. So we wick the highs, trying to come back lower here. Again, it's a very messy range here this morning, guys. But like I say, it's Monday morning. Don't let Monday morning ruin your week after over the weekend you said this week is going to be a new me. Just because the markets are ranging right now doesn't mean that we have to write off the whole entire day or ruin our whole entire week by forcing trades. It's 8:30 in the morning, London time. We got plenty of time here, guys. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. But yeah, one and done. That's the best. Otherwise, if you always are looking for trades every single day, multiple times a day, multiple sessions, you're gonna very, very, very mentally drain yourself. And trading can be mentally tough, but we want to make it as easy for ourselves as possible. And the way we do that is we know when to trade and we know when not to trade. We know when we should be actively looking for positions, and we know when we should actively be walking away. 30-minute close coming up here, guys. If we close bearish, oh, there you go. So Goldie wicking out them lows there. So you've now just grabbed previous hourly lows, which is very nice. Would have been nice to short into lows, but again, it was a bit 50-50. But now that we are grabbing these lows, if we wick back above, there's potential support. 30-minute closed pretty bearish. So let's see. If you wick back above, is there longs? That's a nice, it's a very nice squeeze there. That's why I said I wasn't buying gold here. The reason I wasn't buying gold is because you didn't re-grab previous hourly lows. I would have liked to have sold it, but there wasn't much of a reason to do so. It's a good question, man. Do you have some strategy when to place trade on challenge eval and when on funded account? No, I'm always just trading the funded accounts, to be honest, man. I'm always the funded accounts is my more so focus. For instance, right now on gold, you know, maybe I could have taken this short on a combine because it's a little bit risky. Maybe I still want to give it a shot. It's not worth taking it on my eval, but maybe I can sorry, on my XFA, but maybe it's worth taking it on a combine just to give it a shot. Or for instance, you know, I don't really trade NQ very much, but if I see NQ shaping up for a nice trade and I want to give it a try, well then maybe I'll take it on a combine because I know that it is much riskier. But if I see my plan come up on gold, I'm just trading XFAs. XFAs is what I'm trying to focus on the most. Sometimes I'll build some combines up in the background. But yeah, I mainly focus on these evals. I was trading the personal a little bit more the past 2 weeks when we had restrictions on gold, but now that the restrictions have been lifted and I can trade like 2 to 4 micros, I'm not using my personal for day trading anymore. I'll likely take out the profits from February and go back to focusing on day trading just here. Right, let's see what we're up to, Goldie. So 30-minute continues selling off into the lows. Remember, we are below these hourly lows. What did the previous hourly do? It held support. So to me, there is a chance this hourly wicks all the way right back above and forms an hourly morning star for longs. Personally, I am not convinced by shorts here. I think if we start getting back above, I want to buy this. Anticipating that this hourly is going to wick previous hourly lows and start to close back bullish and shape up for a bit of a morning star play. Because look how corrective this price action is down here on gold. You get this huge push up and we're just kind of creeping down. I know it looks bearish and scary right now, but it doesn't matter how this candle looks right now. What matters is how the previous hourly candle closed. Well, the previous hourly candle held support. So to me, this is a potential morning star. So bullish breakouts from here, I am going to give a shot for longs. I'll probably only go in small because it is a little bit risky, but look at this. Already we're getting a nice reaction off these lows. And more volume than we've seen all morning. So let's see how this 5 minutes can close here. And there's potential longs all the way back up into VAP for about 200 ticks. Well, one micro is $200. 2 micros, $400. That's more than enough for me. Let's see this 5 minute close here. Nice instant reaction off them hourly lows there. This is very nice. Let's get rid of this. So aggressive sell-off. People see that sell-off. Okay, cool. Let me FOMO into the shorts. Squeeze right back out. Why are we not trying to chase shorts here? Hourly lows. Hourly lows. This isn't just a 5 minute level. This is previous hourly lows. Previous hourly lows. Previous liquidity lows. Weekly open. Very important to understand what these lines are, especially if you want to. Although I'm watching the 5 minute here, I'm watching the 5 minute basing my trades and direction off the higher time frame. I never use the 5 minute for direction. Let me see here. What are we doing? Yeah, Audi's looking nice. Still wicking out. I mean, it still has been bearish for the past. From 3 AM, you've been pushing lower. So it's risky. So I will take it a small size. But I kind of want to give it a little bit of breathing room. Let's see how this 5 minutes is going to close it, guys. Oh, ideally, we close a bit more bullish than that. Let's have a look. Let's see, Goldie. See if Goldie's going to be good to us now that we've been very patient here. Which didn't Friday blew my account? Funded account or personal account, man? If you're trading here on Topstep, there is zero reason to be blowing accounts in a single day when you have all the risk management features that we have here. But if you did, you know it happens, but you need to absolutely maximize personal day loss limits, when to lock out, trade limits. You need to maximize all the features that we have here because this platform is literally built to stop that happening. I mean, you should never really be risking that. I mean, you should not never really. Should be never risking an amount that you can blow an account in a day. Like that's very, 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 very aggressive. Very aggressive. If we continue down, would you look to trade in today's low? Yes, that's my overall thought process today, is to sell down into 51.20. However, what I'm kind of thinking here on gold is if I'm going to short all the way down into here, I think it's unlikely that we do it from here. I think, you know, we'd very likely pull back before then maybe selling into New York session. And for London, I'm trying to take advantage of this move before maybe you short into New York. But the only concern with selling gold today down into some lows is the fact that last week was extremely bullish. Huge bullish closure. So again, look at this massive push up. Maximize this push up. So shorting is risky. So if I want to sell, yeah, it has to be a good trade location, and to me that'd be back up at maybe 51.80-ish, maybe if not even higher. All right, let's see it, guys. Let me see if we can get a potential buy stop here on Goldie in a second. I'm not going to take the retest. I'm going to see if we can get a buy stop. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to put a buy stop in here. We'll just start one micro. See if we can see if this 5 minute can flip back bullish and drive. Remember, this is the first sign of volume that we have seen for London, and we just sold off 170 ticks, which is all right. There we go. I'm tagged in there. Keep the risk about 60, 70-ish dollars. I'm trying to get this for a nice retracement higher. I would scale into this trade on a maybe 15 or 30 minute closure. So I'm starting off very small, guys, just risking about 80-ish dollars to see if we can play this all the way back up for a nice retracement. Maybe a scale opportunity here on gold is a break back above this area, around 57-ish. Break back above 57, there's potential scaling. But I am starting off small here. Starting off small here on Goldie. Start off small. Still based in Oz. I'm back in Europe now, man. Back in Europe. Back in Europe. How's it sunny outside? I'm in Spain, man. I'm in Spain. It's nice and sunny here in Spain. It's been beautiful weather. It's gone from being like rainy and wintry in Spain to all of a sudden it's like summer, like sunbathing. But it's been so hot. What's these alerts gone off Bitcoin? I do want to give this a little bit of breathing room. It's not just going to be a tag lows and just rip out. I know we have been range bound, but let me just see how this fire is going to close. Nice thing here is we did tag the lows and actually close bullish, so this is probably an easy stop there. Let me do it. I'm gonna put that risk 100. Let's see. How do you get the level with the indicator? Or these levels I have on here, I've just done myself, and these are just my manual levels. All just off the higher time frame. I'm also marking them on so you guys can see it. Like I don't really need to draw on. I kind of already know this is hourly lows. Yeah, I just draw them on so you guys can see these levels. You can get indicators where it marks on weekly, daily highs and lows and hourly lows, etc. But not every single weekly high and low and daily high and low is important. So I only mark on the ones that are important. Let's see. We're going to close back bearish, Goldie. Let me see. Get that nice tag lows, bullish closure. We're going to continue. We're going to range. All right, trading one micro here, guys. Very, very tight range here on gold. 5 minute going to close. Yeah, 5 minute closing bearish. 5 minute closing straight back down. Holding support, holding resistance. I'm gonna hold through this 5 minute close. If it squeezes me out, it's $100. I don't really care. I kind of want to give it a little bit of breathing room to see if this 30 can wick back above in this hourly to hold these lows. So if it stops me out for minus 100, that's fine. I'm gonna keep it here. I just want to see how it plays. If we, like I say, if we get back above, cool, I'll enter more, but I'm only in for one here. We do something like this. Oh, wrong tool. If we do something like this, I will enter more. But right now, I'm only going to stick to risking $100 here. If it squeezes me out, I will wait for New York. But it was looking nice. We had a nice liquidity grab and instant reaction off them lows, holding a little bit of resistance, right back down. May even flip this 5. Let's see. There's actually a big gap on the currency chart as well. Let me go a different one. Right, that weekly open today on gold opened and just ripped, absolutely ripped. Do you analyze your statistics and how do you do it? Yes, if you mean like journal wise, absolutely. You have to absolutely journal and look at all your data. But how do you do it? I mean, there's many different ways. Again, go through all your losing trades, go through all your winning trades. What made it a losing trade? What made it a winning trade? Go through your break evens. Was it a good break even? Was it a bad break even? What happened after the break even? You know, don't always just write down, oh, it was a stop and then move on. It's like, no, what happened after you hit stop? Did it end up hitting your targets? If the answer is yes, then cool. Reevaluate how you could have maybe got back into them trades. There's a lot that you can go into and analyze, but keep it simple. Don't go too crazy. Just, you took a loss. Was it a good loss? Was it a bad loss? What made it a good loss? What made it a bad loss? What could you have done differently? If nothing, fantastic, good loss, move on. If it was a bad loss, what did you do wrong? How could you have done something better? Did you have some emotions kicking? There's a lot of different things you can look at. If we don't start to drive soon, I will manage. I was hoping we would start to flip up there in a second, but we're kind of, it's looking like we're going to get a bit of a morning start, but now we're coming lower. Currency chart didn't actually grab previous lows before pushing up. There's really not a lot of volume in here. We're working within a 62 tick range right now. I mean, which sounds alright, but with how big gold's moving, it's very slow. You also have a big trend line coming down here on gold as well. Look at that big trend line coming down here, big trend line coming down here. This is more reasons why I want to see this come up and rip these levels. More sellers trying to short the trend line. I'm trying to buy up into it. I'm buying off the fact that I'm trying to hold these previous hourly lows. That's what we're anticipating here, to come up for a nice retracement. Volume or volatility? What do you mean? What's the difference? Does it matter? This might be personal, but what are the size of your Topstep accounts and how much do you copy at a time, or do you switch between? You can see here my Topstep accounts are 100Ks, but no, I don't copy them all together. No, I don't copy them all together. Let me bring this up a little bit. It's kind of what I'm wanting to see if this 5-minute can grab the lows and start to push. But no, I don't copy them all together. Do you prefer London trading or New York? I don't really prefer sessions, to be honest. Gold kind of moves depending on where gold is, to be honest. Like gold could move at London Open, or it could move at 11 AM London time, or it could move at pre-New York. I don't trade sessions on gold. If we close like this on the 5-minute bottom wick, I may take a risky second entry here and risk off that low. It's a nice 5-minute grab there, trying to hold support. How's that 15 about to close? Meh. Yeah, I'm taking a risky another buy here, guys. I like this now. Still stick to the same risk, $100 off that low. But no, I don't copy mine. I like to keep mine separate. I don't really like to copy trade them. you can call it whatever you want, man. It doesn't really matter too much. You kind of know what I'm talking about. It's just not really moving. Volatility, volume, it doesn't really matter. All I'm demonstrating is that we're not moving. You can call it whichever you want. It doesn't, honestly doesn't really matter, man. I think it's more so what I'm trying to say is we're not moving. We're just ranging. It doesn't matter about the whole full technical meaning. It's just me demonstrating that we're just ranging. A little bit of a 5-minute morning style play shaping up here. Because I'm trying to get this for a decent squeeze back higher. I want to be able to hold this trade for like 1 to 2 hours if I have to. Let's get out. Yeah, all good, man. All good. I want to hold this. I want to try and hold it at least back up into 66s ish. 66s around here, if not a little bit higher. Depends on how we go. But the hourly is now starting to do what I was anticipating, which is holding previous hourly lows and wicking back above. Now the only thing is here, depending on how this hourly candle closes, there is still the potential the next hourly does come down to create a bottom wick. So if you manage, either keep it open or be willing to get back in. I'm trying to see if we can take this high. So again, like I say, I'm using the 5-minute to buy based off the higher time frame, which is wicking out previous hourly lows before coming for that retracement. No, I don't correlate gold with anything. I don't correlate with gold with anything, especially not silver. I mean, you can look at the two, but no, gold just moves in its own way that I just find it best to look at gold. Sometimes I've seen, you know, silver liquidate a level, gold hasn't. Well, gold always still comes for it, so I find it easier just to look at gold. I used to kind of, I don't think I've ever really correlated as trading NQ and ES. That's it. I don't do any correlation for gold. Previous hourly closure being bearish wasn't against buys for you. Yes, until this hourly came down and re-grabbed the lows, because this hourly did hold support. So it's holding support. So it's a big wick rejection. So the only way I would buy this current hour is if we wick out the lows. That's the only reason I'm buying here, anticipating you're going to get a bit of an hourly morning star play shaping up. You know, if this hourly candle here closed like very bearish, like this, kind of like here, then I wouldn't buy this hour. But because we actually held a little bit of support, we're below some previous breakout levels as well, I can buy this hour. It's riskier, but the risk reward is absolutely worth it, which is why I'm giving it a shot. Yeah, the only way I would buy against a bearish hourly closure is if we do throw signs of support, which we did nicely here. But if we closed aggressively bearish, then yeah, of course I'm not gonna buy against it. But because we actually held support, this hourly candle has opened, wicked lows, so I'm buying below the previous lows, which is kind of same as what we were doing last week on gold. We were buying below previous week lows, so pretty much the same thing, but just on a lower time frame. So risking $100 to see here if we can take this up for a very nice risk reward here. Very nice, you know, maybe 4 risk reward, maybe. We'll see. We'll see if gold is good to us. So far, the patience is paying. How was the R8? Yeah, R8 was sick, man. R8 was good fun. And I need another one. R8 was very fun. Fun to cruise around. I've never really driven a car like that before, so yeah, it was very fun, man. Very fun. Very fun. No, same as DXY, no. I used to look at the US dollar index and look at gold. It can just, you can talk yourself out of position too much, especially for intraday trading. I don't look at anything else for intraday trading gold other than just gold. You can look at the DXY, but again, for intraday trading, no, I honestly, I don't. For instance, right now, you got the DXY pushing higher, you got gold pushing higher. So if the DXY is going higher, well, you could be saying to yourself, well, doesn't that mean gold should be going lower? Well, if you said that, you just missed out on a buying opportunity. The US dollar's been going high, sorry, it's been pushing up all morning. Well, gold's not selling off right now, so no, I honestly don't correlate gold to anything. I used to look at the DXY more so when I'd be swing trading. But for intraday trade, no, I'm just pure gold. Gold tells me everything. Everything I need to see on gold or about gold markets, I can see right here in front of me. I don't need anything else. We got hourly close coming up in 10 minutes here, guys. I do have to wrap up soon, but I just want to see how this hourly is going to play out. I've already gone through the TPs, man. Just waiting to see how gold closes here. I don't have a TP set. I never set TPs. Just waiting to see how the markets go. Waiting to see how Goldie pushes. I want to see this. I want to see this hourly close. That's kind of what I'm waiting for here. Anticipating a nice hourly morning star hold here. That's what the whole trade is based off here. Where would I move to break even? I would move to break even once we start clearing the resistance around 5160. We start clearing 5160. Let's say if we do something like this, we clear this. I don't really see any reason to come all the way back down to here. Therefore, I can move my stops to break even. Because if we break 5160, I'm anticipating that area should hold to push higher, like this. Therefore, when I have an entry all the way back down here, I can manage my risk. Yeah, if you want to, actually, I've already added, man. It's up to you. I've already added. I'm already in this. I've already said, you know, where to add, where the targets are, where the stops are, where I'm adding. Yeah, I've already explained all of it. If you want to add on the breakout, go for it. Don't wait for me to tell you guys when to add. I've personally already added. Took my initial entry, took my scale in. We've gone through the whole reasons for the trade, the whole reason I will exit the trade, where we'll now manage the risk. Absolutely everything. Why don't I take TPs? Well, I mean, I do have, like, I have a TP area in mind, but I never set a hard TP. Like, if I set a hard TP here on gold, the amount of times that, especially at liquidity level, gold can just blast through it is huge. So, like, rather than setting a TP here, let me just see how we react around the level that I do want to take profit, in case we do just aggressively break through it and I can make more. I'll always set a hard stop, of course, but I will never set a hard TP. Unless I can't watch it. If I can't watch it, you know, maybe I go about my day, I'll set a hard TP. But yeah, I prefer to just, I'll kind of set it off alerts. Yeah, I'll set it off alerts. Max amount for your combine for the day. All right, YouTube guys, I do have to wrap up here, guys. I'm jumping on one of the one-to-ones, one of the members, but this is gold playing out pretty perfectly here, guys. We wicked out previous hour lows and we held support. That's exactly why I was taking longs on the 5 minute. taking longs on the 5 minute based off the higher time frame. So you guys know my targets, you know my management. I'm going to wrap up here. We've been on for about an hour and a half. Again, guys, I also waited about an hour for this trade. And that's why I say to you guys, patience pays. Patience absolutely pays. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. YouTube guys, I will see you guys same time again tomorrow. You guys know my idea for this trade. We're up about a nice $200 here, 2 micros. And I'll see you guys same time again tomorrow. Trade safe, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.